a pitch workshop on how to pitch with purpose and attract clients, investors, and stakeholders for a startup. So, without wasting my time, I would like to welcome Christine and team to the stage.
All right. Thank you so much, Stan. Really appreciate it. I was on standby listening to the previous chat. That was really awesome. And now we're going to talk about pitching. Okay. And my approach to pitching is really going to hopefully change your entire perspective on how to leverage the skill, the art of asking for support, partnership, engagements. Like you are going to hopefully, by the end of this session, radically shift your mindset around how to ask, not just for money, but how to get support to grow your business and grow your brand in today's market field. Okay. So I want to make sure to share that this is going to be a very dynamic conversation about how to pitch with purpose and attract clients, investors, and stakeholders for your startup. Okay. So with that said, the most important thing is that when it comes to pitching, I want to make sure that you guys have the clarity and the conviction that when you walk into any room, any space, when you stand up and present your company, people want to listen. People want to hear more. Even if the product or solution does not serve that audience purpose, they want to say, I want to hear more because there might be someone that I know that needs your product or service. Are you moving rooms, right? Are you moving the energy of the spaces that you walk into? Right? When you're pitching your company, when you're pitching your product, your service, when you're pitching your mission, because I will tell you, for all of you who are founders, CEOs, business owners, once you put on the hat of entrepreneur, you are always pitching, you are always presenting what you do, how you do it, and why. The most important thing, why you do it. Because when things get tough with your business, that why is going to be the one thing that's going to push you to still have those hard conversations with your employees, with your partners, with your investors, and any stakeholder that is working with you when it comes to your business. Are we in the room with me here? I want to make sure that we understand that pitching is not just about asking for money. It's asking for support, but more importantly, asking for the audience to even take the time to hear what you have to say and indulge with the message you want to share with them when it comes to your business. And you have to do it with conviction. You have to be almost so insane that the room, all they want to hear is what you have to say. I've seen so many entrepreneurs, they come on stage, they get into pitch competitions, and they say, my name is so-so, and I do this, and then and they ramble, and they just talk about nonsense. They go over at a tangent. I've forgotten why they're even on the stage. If you are going on stages, if you are getting opportunities to present your companies and you're presenting it with no energy, no fire, no reason at all for being there, but to actually just push the words out and say, let me tell you about your company, please go back to the drawing board and figure out why did you even start this company in the first? Because I will tell you, many of you know this, entrepreneurship is not an easy road. My team will tell you, we have been through so many highs and lows. They have been with me. Stan has been with me for over several years. He has seen me at my highest and he has seen me at my lowest. How do I still motivate my team, my partners, my investors, my ecosystem to still believe in our company mission, even when things are not going well? That is all pitching. That is conviction. That is energy. That is telling someone that no matter what, this problem that I want to solve, I know I am the best to do it. And I want to show you that I am committed to bringing that solution to you wherever you are. Are you pitching with conviction and purpose? And today, I hope to inspire you, motivate you, and really move you into action to never again, after today, pitch with simplicity, pitch as a basic person, to present yourself with authority, clarity, and conviction. Are we in the room? I want to make sure we're in the room here with me today. All right. So let's move on and talk about how do we actually pitch with purpose? How do we get on stage? How do we get and present ourselves? Because let me tell you my first pitch. The first pitch that you have is introducing yourself. Because I will tell you, your business, your model will change, your clients will change, your ecosystem, the economy will change, but you, hopefully you will grow and you will learn how to introduce yourself. So my name is Christine and Tim. I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem, and we help entrepreneurs build and launch their companies with purpose and technology. That is my pitch to you. So the fire that I have in me, so I've launched this company and bring it to you today. We are serving our mission by bringing this accelerator program to you here today for you to learn and grow and really motivate you to leverage the resources that we're providing to you, speakers, partners, collaborators, to make you successful on your journey of entrepreneurship. That is my pitch. So I will tell you, how many of you know how to walk into a room and introduce yourself with integrity, credibility, confidence? Now, let me be clear. You don't have to be loud. I didn't scream, "My name is Christine and Tim." No, I said, "My name is Christine and Tim, and I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem, and we help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies with purpose and technology." I didn't give you a whole backstory. I didn't bore you to the cows come home. I told you simply who I am. I told you my position. I told you what our company does in one sentence. So if you believe in that mission, if you want to participate either as an entrepreneur, as a stakeholder, ecosystem builder, wherever your position in hearing that message, you now get to decide if you want to move forward with me or not. Do you see the simplicity in that? So the first pitch that you have to learn how to do is introduce yourself. So I hope, especially we have demo day coming up next week. And for all of you, whether you have been invited to demo day or not, you are always pitching. And the first most important skill that you will have for the rest of your life is how to walk into rooms, open doors, open ears, open energies with your introduction to you. Let people know you, remember you. They might not always remember what you said, but they'll remember how they felt when you walked into that room and opened your mouth and introduced yourself. Are we here today? I want to make sure we're all here today. Okay. So that is my first pitch. And of course, I will elaborate. I'm a mother of 4. I'm a wife. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm more than just a human being building a business. I'm building multiple business ventures, solving problems in different industries that I see fit, because I like to disrupt things and shake things up. But I'm also, like I said, I'm a mommy. I have 4 kids. Once I get off with you guys, I got to go to my kids, right? See my husband. How's your day? How are things going? I farm. I do so many things. There's so much to me as an individual. And I hope that you guys, that when you're pitching and presenting yourself, you give people the full breadth of you. I see so many people are shy to introduce all the different courses. I will tell you, my staff think I'm crazy, right? I know they laughing in the background. They know I'm crazy. I'm not easy. I'm very hardcore. I'm on them. I'm like, listen, we got to do this. We got to do this. You guys got to come up. They know me very, very well. Okay. So they know my entire energy, my entire personality. And keep in mind, I'm not always just like, hey, I'm also sometimes very quiet and analytical and on spreadsheets and on documents and on Slack going crazy with them, right? There's so many different facets of you. And I hope that you introduce yourselves in rooms with confidence. And like I said, integrity. All of you is a part of that pitch. So if you're soft-spoken, leverage that. Still be audible, but be soft-spoken. If you are loud and very open and extroverted, then fully tap into that, right? So that's my first pitch, my introduction to you, right? Now, this conversation I'm going to have with you about pitching comes from experience, not from theory, not from research, from experience. I have pitched, ladies and gentlemen, I have pitched at probably over 70 plus different competitions in different formats over my tenure as an entrepreneur. I don't pitch as much because my pitching is now in a different format, not on stage, but in conversations, back doors, events, programs, initiatives. I pitch in so many different forms now, right? But back then, when I first was starting on my journey, I was pitching at competition after competition. And let me tell you, this is the reason why I said you got to know why you're building your business. I was so convicted in my business, come hell or high water. If I had to not sleep for 24 hours, I was getting on that stage to share my business. If I had to talk to 20 people, I will do that. If 20 people told me, no, we do not want to invest in your startup, guess what? That 21st person is going to hear that pitch That 27th person is going to hear that pitch. That 29th person is going to hear me talk about this business. There was no stopping. There was no plan B. It was only plan A. And plan A was me walking into the room and saying, hello, my name is Christina Tim. I'm the founder of the Global Startup Ecosystem. I want to tell you about what we're doing for entrepreneurs around the world. You are going to hear that pitch. Because guess what? For many of you, as you accelerate your journey as an entrepreneur, building your business, you will come to realize that not everyone is the right fit for you. Not everyone is the right audience for your message. What you're going to learn is that you're going to be very, 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 and I want to emphasize, very grateful for the people that say no to you. Do you know why? When people say no, they give you something that's extremely invaluable in today's society. Do you know what that is? What is probably the most invaluable thing that you could ever get right now? It's not money. For those of you who are hustling for funds, it's not partnerships, not stakeholders, it's time. When they tell you no, they give you back your time. Because when someone says maybe or kind of keep you in loop, you keep pitching. And I won't say you're wasting your time, but in a sense you are, right? So when someone says no and close the door, sometimes just no, not now. Maybe in the next year, you'll be positioned for what they're looking for. But let me tell you this. When someone told me no, I said, thank you. Now, these 20 people told me no. I still got to talk to these 55 people who said yes. These 38 people told me no. This one person said maybe. Let me see if I can indulge them even more. Are you following, right? So when someone tells you no after a pitch, don't take it personally. Don't get angry. Don't get pissed off. Don't get demoralized. If anything, you should get fired up. If you can, if you so shall be, ask for feedback, ask for advice. It's like, okay, what was it about what I said to you about my business that didn't fit your needs? And every time you get that feedback, you adjust, you grow, you start to realize, what I just presented to you is what you needed. Maybe I didn't say it in the language that made sense to you, because some of you don't have the right language for your audience. I give you a perfect example. I was pitching Global Startup Ecosystem to a group of VCs who say like, we're actually looking for startups, not small businesses. And I'm like, no, we are not just supporting small businesses. We're supporting fast growing startups. Just the word change in the type of business, small business versus startup, changed the whole dynamic of the conversation. So I'll say this again, from experience, I learned, keep pitching, keep sharing, keep having those conversations, because as you start to grow, again, you either get in time or feedback. Either way, you're going to grow and get better and better at articulating your business, your brand value, your mission, and your why. Okay? So I want to make sure I say that this is all from experience. Now, what is the format of the pitch? Now, there is so many pitch formats on the block. And a lot of people say like, well, you have to have an elevator pitch. If you're in an elevator and you have less than 45 seconds or 1 minute, what will you say? Let me say this. You got to be able to present your business in one sentence. Whether that sentence is going to be elaborated over 5 minutes, whether it's going to be elaborated over a minute or 30 seconds, you got to be able to articulate what your business does in 1 second. How many of you, put it on the chat, can tell me what your business does in 1 sentence? And if you do not know how to put your business value proposition in 1 sentence, you do not know your business model. You do not know your business. You're not ready for this, right? And I will tell you, it's extremely hard for a lot of people to do this. Tell me in the chat, what does your business do in 1 sentence? So again, I will reintroduce my business. I'm the founder of the Global Startup Ecosystem, and we help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies through our annual Accelerator program that's launched digitally every year. Very simple. I could talk about all the different ways we do that, all the partners we work with. I could elaborate. But in 1 sentence, I told you the name of the company, the Global Startup Ecosystem. I told you what we do. We help entrepreneurs launch and build their startups. So I'm at the idea stage. I'm not for the experienced entrepreneurs who are looking for VC capital. We're at the Genesis stage where we're helping you launch and build, right? And the third thing I told you specifically, how do we do that? Because some of you don't have a specific business model, a specific way that you help people. Our product package is our digital accelerator program. You guys are part of it today, right? So specifically in 1 sentence, you can walk away and tell someone what we do, right? So I will love for you guys on the chat, right? Share with me who you are in 1 sentence. Hi, my name is Christina Tim. I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. Let's do that on the chat right now. And team, let's share those introductions in 1 sentence. Don't ramble. Don't tell me what you did when you were 2 years old in your home country. Don't do any of that. Your name, your title, and your company. Let's do that on the chat. Let's reel them in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. One sentence. Your name, name of your company, and that's it. We'll stop from there. Okay? Now, the person who just told me we help females and individuals be confident in their own skin and hair color. Again, let's start with the introduction. I want names. My name is, I am so-and-so, and I am are you the co-founder, the founder, the president, CEO of XYZ organization? Let's get that on the chat. All right. And team, reel them in as they're coming in. Okay. Let me know what that is. Once you do that phrase, then we're going to talk about the value proposition of your business. In one sentence, what does your company do? Okay. So I share with you, okay. Hi, my name is Christina Tim. I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. What we do, we help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies. Okay. One sentence. That's what we do. So you got to tell me in one sentence, what do you do? Right. And I'm loving the introductions right now, guys. You guys are getting it. You guys are starting to tell me your introductions, which is your name. Now, the second sentence, I want you to come through to me here and tell me, what does your company do in one simple sentence? Okay. Good. Let's keep them coming. Let's keep them coming. One sentence, what does your company does? I love that. Someone said, I'm the proud founder. Well done. Well done. Well done. I'm looking at the comments here. Really, really great energy on the chat feed. Really, really good. Keep them coming, guys. Right? So we got the titles of your companies now, which is great. Now you need to tell me in one sentence, what does your company do? So I already shared with you what our company does. We help entrepreneurs to launch and build their startup companies. Okay? Now, I'm going to describe exactly how we do that. We help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies through our annual Accelerator training program that is done digitally every single year. So our product clearly is an annual digital accelerator program. I just told you how we serve our audience. I told you what we do and how we do it. That's the product. Some of you don't have a product. What is the actual product? Is it a service, right? See, you guys are doing this now, right? So someone said, I am, Kelvin. I am the CEO of House NG, a real estate listing platform. It offers seamless real estate properties and rental solutions to students, workers, and students. You don't even have to say all these fancy words. Guys, let me tell you, the smartest people in the room want simple messages. You don't have to say seamless, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm a real estate listing website that supports, that provides real estate properties information to students, workers, and tourists. That's it. Keep it simple, right? Keep it simple. I'm using this as an example, but again, let me tell you something. If you get caught up and you just want to give jargon and sound pretty and nice, it's because you don't feel confident, okay? I've seen this happen a lot of times where entrepreneurs decide, well, AI and artificial intelligence and the exponential technologies of the this and that and the third. Please don't bore me with your jargon. Take that home. Sleep. Goodbye. I don't want to hear it. Speak to me in plain language. Now, I am a mother, and that helps me so much. I even present my information and my company ideas to my daughter. My oldest right now is 8. If she doesn't get it, I got to go back to the drawing board. So I tell my daughter, I'm like, hey, do you know mommy helps people build and launch their businesses? She said, oh, really? How do you do that? Well, I train them through a program. So she gets it. And I can bring it to investors, stakeholders. So some of you should be speaking to your mom, your grandma, your elder auntie, someone who could simply not think of all the jargon, but to understand what you're saying, right? So again, I am Kelvin. I am the CEO of House NG. And we are a real estate listing website that offers real estate property solutions to students, workers, and tourists. Very simple. Keep it simple. Team, keep them coming in, right? Let's keep rotating all the different introductions and companies that people are sharing right now. This is great. You guys are doing really, really well. You see how easy it's getting? Now, here's the final part of your pitch. Never have an opportunity to present your name and your company and not have some type of call to action. You see, we live in a world right now where everyone's overstimulated, everyone's overwhelmed. There's a lot going on. Okay. So you got to capture people. What is the next step? How do they, promote you, work with you, buy from you? Some of you are making it too hard for people to give you money, right? So you got to tell people like, hey, my name is Christina Tim. I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. We help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies through our annual Digital Accelerator program. Okay. We are currently looking for partners and stakeholders to scale in the Middle East. If you know any partners, let me know. That's me pitching expansion. Let's say my call to action is like we're looking for entrepreneurs to join our program. We are currently looking for amazing entrepreneurs who are looking for support to launch their businesses. We have an application open. Please refer them over. That's another pitch, right? That's a different call to action. If I'm pitching an investor, hey, because we've done an investment 2 years ago, hey, we're currently raising a capital round. We're looking for seed investment for our capital round where we're raising 1.2 million. Let me know if there's any investors looking for ecosystem builders for entrepreneurs in the emerging markets. We'll love to have a discussion with them. Now I'm pitching for investment. Do you see how I'm making sure that I'm ending this conversation with a tangible, hey, this is what I need. Hey, this is how you can help. Some of you are just going everywhere. You're saying this, you're saying this, you're saying that, you're saying that. And I'm like, what is going on? And some of you, let me say this, and I'll get to final lessons towards the end of this conversation. But some of you don't even know what you want. Because you're an entrepreneur, let me be very clear. As an entrepreneur, you need everything. You need money, you need partners, you need clients, you need stakeholders, you need web design, you need marketing, you need everything. So you start just jumbling everything to your audience. Don't do that, right? Make it very clear and succinct. What are you looking for? And as a CEO, by the way, you have to have an amazing skill set in decision making. So you got to make a decision what you are looking for and what you need so you can articulate that brand message to whoever you're discussing it with, right? So if you're talking to media, you know what to say to them. You're talking to an investor, you know what to say to them. If you're speaking to a client, you know what to say to them, okay? So that is simply the format. And this is something that we're going to do. I'm going to come off, and then obviously Stan is going to come on and be able to essentially next week in the beginning, we're going to call you guys up and have you practice this, okay? Right? Where you're going to come up and each one of you for one whole minute, you're going to come up here and just do it and just run the reps. Introduce yourself in a sentence. Introduce yourself in a sentence and keep running those reps. Okay. So with that said, now that you've seen the format and you see the simplicity, obviously, for those of you who have more time, you can elaborate with your financials. I shared that in the previous slide. You could give, more information on the team profiles, what you guys have done, traction, right? But I want to bring it back to the basics because pitching is such an art form and it is a science. And so many entrepreneurs understand the importance of pitching. And so many of you are in the lifetime of your business as an entrepreneur, you're always going to be pitching. But do you know what is the purpose of a pitch? What is the purpose of the pitch? Tell me on the chat. What do you think the purpose of a pitch is? Tell me in the chat. What is the purpose of the pitch? And team, roll them in as they come in, okay? What is the purpose of a pitch? What is the goal? Why are you pitching in the first place? Tell me. So they're coming in now. Like, we are looking for funding that will enable our company. Okay, so that's one purpose someone just said. Keep them coming in, guys. There's hundreds of you guys engaging on this privately, and then some of you guys are live. Like, let me know. What is the purpose of the pitch? Some of you just said funding. What is the goal of the pitch? Someone just said for sales, to connect, to communicate your big acts. Keep them coming. And I'm saying this because you're going to be very amazed what my answer is. And again, I teach pitching in a completely different way. You will never pitch the same way after this session, like I said, because I have learned over the years that pitching is not just for funding. It's not just for sales. It's not just to get credibility. It's not just to promote yourself. There's a goal to this. To get yourself out there. Yes. Keep them coming for visibility. Look at it. You guys are saying all the basic fundamental answers. Basic answers. I want you to think bigger than this. What is the actual goal? How do you know you did a great pitch? How do you know? How do you actually know that when you went there and presented yourself, how do you know you did well? All you are saying the same thing, selling your business ideas, promoting yourself, visibility, expose my business, all the same exact thing. So I will tell you the secret. The goal of the pitch is not just for visibility, for funding, for partners, for stakeholders, which is, I know, the purpose of this entire session is deeper than that. The goal of the pitch is to be repeated. I'm going to run that again. The goal of a pitch is to be repeated. And this is the reason why I tell you simplicity is so important. And I'm going to make sure you understand why. Because guess what? Whoever you're pitching to, they are not the final decision maker on whatever you're asking of in your pitch. If you're pitching to a customer, guess what? If they like what you said, they got to pitch that to their family and friends so you could get more customers. If you're pitching an investor, guess what? They're not going to cut the check out of their bank account. They got to go pitch it to the VC and the investor board so they could be able to make a group decision and come back and invest in your company. If you're pitching an editor of a magazine for a media feature, guess what? They got to go pitch it to the entire board and say, this is the news story that I'm coming out with. Do you guys approve for them to go and publish? Every time you pitch, if what you said cannot be repeated, it cannot be spread. The purpose of the pitch is for it to be repeated. Are we following me? Are we following? This is going to radically change how you pitch. Because if you understand that the purpose of the pitch, the goal is for it to be repeated in rooms that you are not in, right? Then you understand that I have to make sure it's clear, it's understandable, and it's digestible. So that way, my words is moving doors for me even when I'm not in the room. Are we following here? The goal of your pitch is to be repeated. I want to make sure that's very, very clear. It's to be repeated. I see you guys are giving me some emojis and hearts and you're getting it now, right? It's to be repeated. Okay? So with that said, as you articulate your pitch, you're going to realize, okay, as I speak to people and I'm able to articulate what our business do in one sentence, and I'm able to further emphasize the opportunity as to why I'm bringing the solution to the market. This is the opportunity, right? You are also not able to articulate, okay, this is why you should spread the messages. This is where the traction comes in, right? So I can tell you within 6 months, we were able to scale to several different countries. We were able to close this many clients. We were able to do X, Y, Z, right? Traction is really telling the person that you are in momentum, that you are doing and taking the steps needed to be successful with this business. And they want to be a part of that movement, right? And so I'll end this component by saying that many of you, I already shared with you the importance of being simple with your pitch and knowing how to articulate it very, very simply. One sentence or less, and it will help you because when you give someone what you do in one sentence, they are now able to talk to you and ask you the question so you can elaborate. A lot of you talk too much. I just say it. A lot of you just talk too damn much. You just say too much, right? You don't want the conversation. You just want to be heard. Be quiet. Keep quiet. Give them that opening introduction. Hi, my name is Christine Tim. I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. We help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies through our annual Accelerator program. Do you work with entrepreneurs? Now I'm letting the person speak. You know why I'm doing that? I'm trying to figure out which type of audience are they? So that way I could tailor my conversation to them. Because once I say, do you support entrepreneurs? What do you do? The person can say, well, I'm actually a VC fund. We're looking to invest in companies. Oh, really? Well, let me tell you a bit of traction, like what we've done so far. Maybe you might be interested. Now I'm going to give them a traction. But if they're not a VC, why am I telling them that we just closed 10 deals last week? They're not going to care. If they tell me, oh, well, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm struggling to scale my company. Oh, really? You're an entrepreneur? Guess what? We have a program. The application is open next week. I'm tailoring my conversation because my open introduction gave them everything they need to know about what I do in my business. Now it's up to them to drive the conversation to make sure that I'm giving them tangible responses based on what they want to hear. Are we following? Because the pitch is an introduction. The goal of it is to be repeated, but it's still an introduction to you. And with that introduction, you know how to have the conversation that's going to get you the opportunity. A lot of you want to say everything in one sentence. I'm this, I need da. Listen, I'm a married woman. I'm a happily married woman. If my husband came to me on day one, met me on day one and say, like, hey, I like you, let's get married, I will not only call the police on him, I will run away. I will get bodyguards. I would say you are crazy. Okay? Some of you, that's what you're doing. You are walking up to people and say like, hey, this is my business. Can you give me money? Hey, this is my business. Can you do this? Hey, this is my business. Like, what? Business In entrepreneurship, it's all about relationship building. The pitch is an introduction. And some of you have the audacity to get angry and annoyed and so take so many things personally when someone's not interested in your business. Part of the reason why they're not interested is because you didn't make it interesting for them to have a conversation with you. You are still a person at the end of the day. Introduce yourself in your business and let them guide the conversation. Get to know them. Get feedback. Some of you are trying to close your whole life story in one conversation. Stop it. It's an introduction. It's an introduction because it will be the series of multiple conversations, right? That will get you to your end goal. I will tell you, some conversations takes 2 conversations and I get the deal. Some conversations take 10. But I recognize that it's a relationship that I'm building with my client, with my investor, with my partners, even with my team. I got people who work for me for years. I'm still having to convince them. I'm having to communicate with me better. How to do this. I'm still motivating and coaching them to this day, many years later. It's a conversation. It's a relationship. Stop walking into rooms expecting everything to happen. This is not Walmart where everything you could get is in one place, right? Please have decorum, have professionalism, have a sense of dignity as to how you communicate with people, especially in this world where people are so suspect. Trust is broken in every corner that you find. Please be the different person that stand out, that don't make people want to run away from you like a plague. Come with the conviction to introduce yourself well, but make them interested in staying in conversation with you because you command poise and just poise. That you chill. You're purposeful, but you're chill, right? You know that it's going to take time to have that conversation. And time is relative. It could be 1 week, 1 month, a year. But I told someone one day, I was speaking to the investor, and the investor said, well, we're not really interested in investing in companies that are working in emerging markets. I'm like, no problem. You know what I told them? I'll be around. I know 5 years, 10 years, I'll be around. I'll stay in touch with you every single year just to stay on your radar, but I'll be around. Do you understand the confidence that I'm giving this person by telling them, don't worry, I will still be here with the business strong. You'll be ready. I'll always be ready. Do you understand the energy I gave that person? Don't worry. I will still follow up, but I'll be here. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, I'll be here standing. Do you know what energy that means to someone listening to you? Some of you act like if the person doesn't invest in you today, the business will collapse tomorrow. Why on earth would I want to invest in you if the business is hanging by a thread? Are we following me? I want to make sure I'm here with you guys, right? Are we here? Are we here with me? I want to make sure we are here in the same room. So when it comes to pitching, the screen that I have in front of you is you learn how to pitch in different ways, right? Depending on the conversation, you tailor your pitch. If you're speaking to an investor, you get to know them, they get to know you, then you give the traction, you give the details that the investor is looking for. If I'm pitching a media outlet, I'll give you a perfect example. My first company is called Vendetti. We connect travelers to street markets. Really powerful platform, digitizing the street market economy. If I'm pitching Forbes, I'm going to tell them my story and my journey of building this company. I come from 3 generations of street vendors. I grew up in the streets of Haiti, right? So I learned about street vending as a little girl. And this is the reason why this is so personal and so, obvious to me as to how to bridge my expertise in technology, right? And bringing that to the informal economy. That's a powerful story. Forbes to this day, I don't think has any story like that. And I've been featured in many, many, many media outlets because of this, right? If I'm pitching a client, I will say, hey, I know my target client travels. Are you traveling and going to street markets to find really unique products, really cool, great street food? I think you should use our platform. I think it will really change and make an impact on your experience. Completely different pitch, completely different conversation. Still the same product, but I'm tailoring it to the audience that's in front of me. If I'm pitching an investor, hey, in the past 6 months, we not only scaled into 20 different countries through our database, but we got partnerships with IBM, Google, and Facebook. And right now, we just became a business case study at Harvard Business School. Are you interested in supporting and being a part of this journey? Do you see the adjustment? Still the same conversation, still the same business, but I'm tailoring the pitch and the conversation based on the audience because each audience member has different needs. So this is the format. All right. Introduce yourself. We already talked about your name, your title, what you do. Hi, my name is Christine Tim. I'm the CEO of the Global Startup Ecosystem. What are you solving? Well, we help entrepreneurs launch and build their companies. Now, I might elaborate say because right now it's very, very hard to get the fundamental insights and resources to launch differently and to launch effectively, strategically. A lot of entrepreneurs struggle. We want to be there with them at the inception point. So they guess because we know 90% of startups fail. We want to change that statistic. That's me framing the problem statement of why our company exists. Market opportunity, 15 seconds. You got to be able to say why this is really a powerful opportunity. Right now, 1 in 4 people on the planet by 2030 is going to be African. That's the reason why we're doubling down on supporting entrepreneurs on the African continent, because it also has the highest unemployment rate in the world. The only solution for the growing youth unemployment crisis in Africa with a population boom is entrepreneurship. That's why we serve in that audience. Hello, do you see me just giving you the problem, giving you the market opportunity? Anyone who hears like, what? 1 in 4 people on the planet by 2030 is going to be African, and they're going to have the youngest population, and there's a youth unemployment crisis, which means there's an opportunity and there's a need. Many of you guys know there's a, whatever country you're from, you know, it's really bad, right? So you can attest to what I'm saying, right? And then the solution is right now with technology, everyone's online. So we are now the fastest growing digital accelerator platform, helping entrepreneurs scale remotely online from wherever corner of the planet that they're coming in from. Powerful solution statement. And what makes us unique, I grew up in emerging markets. I've traveled the world and seen entrepreneurship and the resiliency of entrepreneurship in so many different formats that we bring that caliber of speakers and partners and stakeholders to our program to make sure that the embodiment of entrepreneurship is featured in our program. That's the unique factor from my personal perspective as the founder, but also for the content perspective. Many of you got exposed to a lot of different speakers over this accelerator program. You are already shocked that we got speakers from the US, from Europe, and not just based on their global geographic position, but they were coming for you from different ways. They were telling you how to build your company from the perspective of someone who grew up in Nigeria, or someone who grew up in the US, or someone who could see it from this vantage point, or from this industry vantage point. It helps. And what are you asking? We're currently looking to capital raise our next round, and we'd love for you to join the capital round. We're raising 1.2 million in the next 6 months. Are you interested? Right? I gave them the amount, the timeline, and what we're doing. Right? Call to action. So that is literally everything you need in one slide. And I will tell you guys that I have pitched at a lot of different competitions. Here's what I learned, and I want to share this with you, especially with the energy that many of you are going to go into next week, because 10 of you, based on the votes, were selected to pitch. But by the way, 1 or 2 of you will be called on surprise to come and pitch online, by the way, right? Next week. So you still have an opportunity, even if you're not in the top 10, to still have an opportunity to pitch and get feedback from judges. All right. Now, one thing I will say, for your pitch, please have it in multiple formats. When I was pitching to multiple different competitions and opportunities, I was able to not only pitch in one sentence, but I had it in different formats. I had it as a PowerPoint, I had it as a one-pager executive summary, I had it as a video pitch, right? I had it in different formats. So no matter what opportunity came, I mean, guys, what is the definition of luck? It's when preparation meets opportunity. You got to prepare. So when the opportunity presents itself, you are in the right position at the right time. Right? So I have my pitch in different formats. The other thing is, I already shared with you the goal of the pitch is for it to be repeated. Everyone that you speak to has to repeat it to someone else, right? Less is more, keep it succinct, and be memorable. Leverage whatever makes you unique in your pitch. For me, being someone who grew up in Haiti, traveled the world, first in my family to go to college, first in my family to go, get into a corporate career ladder, first in my family to launch a global business, that has resonated with so many audiences that I leverage the humility and the resiliency of my background to say, like, look, I'm one of those entrepreneurs that don't stop. I'm telling you that right now. I don't. In the face of adversity, I'm going to keep climbing, right? So with that said, I bring that conviction to our business model, and I bring that energy to the problems I want to solve. I'm very convicted in this problem and committed to it, and I want to be a part of the solution. So you got to also create the unique synergies, your story. Why are you the best person to do this business? Some of you don't know why you're doing. Some of you are doing because based on a market opportunity, but the ones that really do very well globally, if you think about all the global companies that you are inspired by, usually the founder had a sincere and deep connection to the problem that they're solving all the time, all the time. GSE was actually born out of frustration. Because as an entrepreneur, when I first was starting, especially as a person of color, there weren't a lot of digital virtual programs to help entrepreneurs. At the time, I was pregnant, by the way. I was learning how to code in 2015 when I launched the site with a Google Doc and a Facebook post. That's how GSE came to be. I was pregnant, learning how to code, coding websites. And I realized that someone like me, pregnant, like with my belly out to here, who's going to take me seriously, especially in that time? So I kind of launched a product for myself out of frustration, not realizing that there were thousands of entrepreneurs around the world who need that same solution. I was very convicted in my purpose and I did it. And here we are today. 7 years later, people are still shocked. Like some people say, like, oh, you're the CEO of the global startup ecosystem. People are still shocked. And let me tell you, we don't have a big team, but we work with big brands, governments, corporate partners. We are there, right? So I want to share that with you to show you that you don't have to have a big start to go big. Humble beginnings are very powerful. It could take you to wherever you need to go. Never forget that, right? And last but not least, I will tell you in the beginning, I applied to probably over 107 different competitions. I raised over $250,000 within 6 months simply because I will tell you, I kept getting rejected. And it just kept going. I remember after about 20 something applications, I kept going. I think it was like my 28th or 27th application that I finally got a yes. And not a yes, like I'm getting the funding, yes, that I'm in the next round. So I still had to keep pitching with that competition. So what does that tell you? You got to be very resilient and you got to put yourself out there. I also realized that VC wasn't for me, right? PE wasn't for me, right? Because I realized that I still wanted to have ownership in the products and services that I was putting out there. And I wanted to have more control and really bringing the best side of me without the pressures of enablers that I felt like didn't understand the market I was serving. Right. And so for many of you, I will say that you need to pitch the right audience when it comes to supporting your business. Not everyone is the same. Right. The last thing I would say is some of you only ask for money. Please. The biggest message I want to share with you today is that pitching is not just pitching for your business. Pitching is learning the art of introducing yourself in circles, but also presenting the value proposition you have in any room that you walk into. So sometimes you're not pitching for money, you're pitching for resources. I remember when I first got started, I needed to close clients. I needed an office. I could not afford an office space. I pitched a lawyer who had a crazy law firm office in the center of New York City in Manhattan. Beautiful. And I said, like, look, would you be open to letting me use your office space just for 3 months so I could close client deals? The person, you say yes, because they just had like a room that just opened. Listen, I booked so many calls and meetings in that 3 months. By the end of 3 months, I was able to launch my own office space because I was able to close clients. For that person, it was easy for them to give me the office space. It didn't matter. It was nothing. Yeah, we got 20 office spaces. Take one. But for me, it meant the world for me to scale my business. Some of you need to learn how to ask the right thing at different stages of your business. This is a skill set that will help you for the rest of your life. Don't always ask for money. There's certain things that are more priceless than money that will help you scale and find success with your business in ways that you never thought possible. Never forget that. And I learned that in so many different ways. Some of you is like, oh, the Accelerator program, are we getting money? No, there's other things that we're giving you. And there's different communities for different things. Some of you want everything from one community. That's not how the world works. You got to build, again, relationships in multiple different communities and create your own ecosystem for your business to scale and really create a dent and an impact in the world. Okay. So with that said, I'll conclude here. You can follow me on LinkedIn. I talk about pitching and startups and entrepreneurship and personal branding all over my LinkedIn feed. So you can follow me on LinkedIn for more tips. But I'll conclude by saying this, that hopefully at the end of this session, you were informed, first off, of the real simple way of articulating you, your brand message, your business, and why it's a great solution. Second, I hope you understand that pitching is a skill that will last you and support you for a lifetime. A lifetime. I have realized that the art of pitching that I learned as an entrepreneur has served me in so many different spaces that I'm like, thank God I went through the no's and the rejections. I am so grateful. To this day, I'm getting emotional. Some of the things that I got rejected for became contracts and opportunities for my business to this day. Never take a rejection personally. Either it's going to help you grow or it's going to help you in so many different ways, either to grow or to learn. Either way, it's going to move you forward because you're putting yourself out there to learn, to grow, and to prosper. So, with that, I wish all of you the very best. Next week is demo day. I cannot wait to see you guys come fired up and pitch. I know the first half of the session, we're going to do some practice sessions with all of you as well, for those of you who are there. And I am so excited. We're going to invite our entire community to watch all of you pitch. So come and support your fellow mates. Like I said, some of you, you're going to get the opportunity to pitch on the spot. But with that said, I hope that when you walk into rooms, that people are so inspired by your energy that they will start to repeat your story and your journey and your business and open doors for you in rooms that you have not even walked into. And I pray and I hope that today, if you are struggling to present yourself, that after today, you will no longer struggle to present. You will no longer struggle to introduce yourself. You will no longer struggle to present the beautiful parts of what you are doing today, that you walk into rooms with purpose, conviction, and energy and fire. And I cannot wait to see you all soar. I wish you all the very best. Congrats on being a part of this program, and congrats for taking on the opportunity of being an entrepreneur and manifesting a beautiful and a powerful idea to the market and being a solution for someone out there. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I pass it over to Stan, who will take it to close out for today's session. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Much, Christine. It's that was a very powerful session. I'm sure you all agree with you, and I'm seeing from your chats. I hope you would stick to your words and say you never pitch the same way like you did before. That was a very, very powerful session. I'm really grateful to Christine and team for sharing her thought leadership on pitching with us. That was an amazing workshop, and hopefully we'll see some amazing pitches next week when you are given the opportunity. For those that won the competition would place you on the schedule and you'll be ready to do that. For the rest of you, just be ready because some of you will be paid on the spot. So everyone just be ready, show up because this is going to be live to the whole GSE community to be able to tune in and watch you as well. So be at your best and be ready for the session on Tuesday. So these, as a reminder, these are the winners of the pitch competition. So a shout out to each and every one of you, and hopefully we'll be ready to see you during the session on Tuesday, all ready and powered up to have your pitch competition. I'll just reiterate the rules again. You each have 2 minutes, just 2 minutes to present. Once you are live, once the 2 minutes is up, we are going to kick you out. So be ready to go in 2 minutes. Don't talk too much. Focus on the right things during the pitch competition. So, congratulations to Stella Justin, Nancy Altred, Lucky Ophili, Adekunle Oloide, Precious Opara, Junior Moyes, Simon Buzariri, Salam Gabin Metem, Idoyin Okuku, and Jack Kumalo. Congratulations to each and every one of you, and we are excited to see what you have for us on Tuesday. And for the rest of you, just be ready. Like Christine said, you may be picked on the spot to pitch. So be ready for that as well. I know a lot of you are disappointed you were not selected. That's the opportunity now for all of you to be ready. So don't be caught unawares on Tuesday. Okay. So congratulations to each and every one of our pitch finalists who will be pitching during the demo day on December 10th. And big shout out to all of you for being accepted onto this program. We're gradually coming to a close of it, but it's been an amazing day, the fifth session, and you've been very active throughout the sessions from day one. So So we look forward to engaging with you post the program and for the rest of the duration of the program as well. So good job to each and every one of you who have stayed on each one of the sessions and been engaging with the speakers, and the questions they've all been um, addressed as well. So I'd like to say a big thank you to each and every one of you and to all our speakers that have come so far. So good job to each and every one of you, and look forward to the email for the pitch. When I look forward to the email that would address how the pitch will be going to and the timing of it. But just be ready for a 2 minutes pitch on December 10th. Okay? Right. So it's been an amazing session. Christine wrapped up this session very well, and I'm so blown away by some of the things that she shared. And I hope you are as well. You're taking this all in. People pay to have these sessions, so if you're getting it for free, you should be grateful and appreciate it, and also take all the lessons that you can from some of these sessions. Okay, so it's been an amazing session, and have a wonderful weekend. We'll be connecting with you over the coming week. So look forward to just continue to monitor your emails for updates from the team about the next session as well, so that you'll not be caught unawares. Thank you all so much, and do enjoy the rest of your days. So the next time we'll meet will be on December 10th. So look out for the calendar.